Hey everyone, this is Christy Furio with Keys to the Shop. Welcome to another edition of Shift Break. Today's episode is brought to you by the Ground Control Cyclops Brewer from Voga Coffee. This machine is changing people's lives, changing the way that we understand coffee brewing for the better. And it's not often that something comes along that revolutionizes coffee brewing, but the Ground Control has done just that. The SCA award-winning technology, it extracts flavors from the coffee and gives you such precise control over those flavor modulations. It sets the bar so high for batch coffee. And on top of that, it's also a very versatile piece of equipment because not only does it make that amazing batch brew, but it also can make tea, hot chocolate, batched iced lattes, batched cold brew. This is the kind of equipment that we need in specialty coffee, something that makes amazing quality and also has versatility and capacity to keep up with our business. So if all of that resonates with you, I highly recommend looking into getting a Ground Control Cyclops brewer for your store. Go find out more information at their website, groundcontrol.coffee. Today's episode is also brought to you by La Marzocco. La Marzocco has been making espresso machines by hand in Florence since 1927. They are the quintessential espresso machine for the specialty coffee industry for a very good reason. Style, dependability, and just the features of the machines have evolved alongside the industry because La Marzocco listens to the needs of its customers and is all about helping us facilitate the preparation of amazing coffee every single time. One of the machines that demonstrates this the most is their newer KB90 machine. It has the straight-in locking portafilter technology for better ergonomics and speed. Auto flush, so it increases cleanliness and speed also. It has built-in scales to improve consistency. If you go to lamarzocousa.com, you can find so many helpful resources. Among them is their product collection catalog, which takes you through the process of picking the right equipment for you and teaching you about the differences in the technology of the machines. And of course, La Marzocco USA is available to help you one-on-one. All you need to do is contact one of the sales directors by emailing info@lamarzocousa.com. And so if you are looking for an amazing espresso machine, if you're looking to upgrade what you currently have or start off with the right espresso machine from the get-go, then I highly recommend you go check out lamarzocousa.com. Okay, everybody. Well, today we want to talk about the word should and why it should really not be used as much as we use it, especially not when we're talking about other people and our expectations of them that they are not meeting. Anytime I hear that word should, my next question is, why should they? What if we asked ourselves that question? And of course, you could probably guess what I'm driving at here is there might be an expectation that you have of somebody. The question is, have you facilitated their ability to do this by both communicating your expectations and giving them the tools to do the job that you expect them to do? Case in point, if you don't like the way that the bathroom looks and it one day is clean, the next day it's not clean, and you think that bathroom should be clean, my question to you is, why should it be clean? Well, because, it's slow and I know they have time to clean because, time to lean, time to clean and all that, but is there a agreed upon standard that we have to clean the bathroom? Is there an SOP for that? Have you trained all of the staff to clean the bathroom the same way? How often should they clean it? Have you communicated that to them? No, but they should do it. People know. Here's the thing. You'd be surprised at how often people don't know things that you think they should know. You can't assume anything when it comes to the job that you expect people to do. This comes back around to our frequent guest on the show, Bruce Tulgan, his work, It's Okay to Be the Boss. If you haven't read that, I highly recommend it. One of my favorite management books of all time, but he talks very frankly about the fact that you need to be telling people what to do and how to do it. And at that point, when you do that, you can then expect things from them because they've signed on to actually be told what to do by you. That's what a job is. I'm going to sign up to actually have somebody tell me what to do, how to do it, and then I do it. That is the whole thing. And then I get paid from that. Everything else is just, cherries on top, right? So if you are not doing that, then you don't have a right to express malcontent over the state of your condiment bar or a dirty bathroom or anything else where you haven't really communicated a standard or been bothered to sit down and actually come up with one in the first place. Most of the time, the reason we don't communicate a standard is because we haven't done the work to create the standard in the first place, because we're operating based on assumptions. Well, these are all grown adults, and they should know these things. Again, you can't operate that way. Human nature is just like water. Okay, it goes to the path of least resistance, just like water channeling in a puck of espresso. So to take this analogy a little bit further about human nature, our job, so much of our job in coffee is about managing the laziness of water. Now, we all have laziness. We all want to make hard things easy. That's why we have systems. It's not bad to be lazy in that way. You could have the strongest work ethic in the world, but even still, you're going to employ some level of good laziness, I guess, by figuring out a way to do it more efficiently, okay? But there's also the aspect of laziness where we will kind of look for a way to get out of doing things if we can. And then the group will kind of create a new standard where no standard is enforced. And that new standard is usually a more lazy version of the standard that would have been put in with more intention by the owners. So much of this is about managing that default mode to kind of take the easy route. It's exceptional to find somebody who's going to take the hard route, who's going to be self-disciplined and have integrity and all that other stuff. So just like water is lazy and it will take the path of least resistance, you need to assume that if you don't put standards in place, people are not going to round up. They're not going to say, well, there's no standard. Why don't we just invent a really high and accurate, well-communicated standard since the boss is not telling us what to do? That's usually not going to happen. So to bring this back, when we're using the word should and we're frustrated of why are they doing this? Why are they not doing this? Don't they know? The question you have to ask yourself is, have I provided the standard? Have I communicated it? And have I trained people on it? And does everyone know it and agree to follow it? So many times I find that complaints like that, where people should do things but aren't doing things the way you want them to or at all, are based on assumptions without any clear standard of communication having come beforehand. So that puts the responsibility in the laps of the leaders to come up with that standard. And then if you know that people are not cleaning the bathroom the way they should because they have been told and trained and there is a standard, now we have a legitimate complaint and concern that needs to be addressed through further communication. That's another episode entirely, but that's something solid to stand on. But we can't really stand where there is no communicated standard, and until that point, you should never use the word should. So I hope that this episode gave you some insights and thoughts to take away and use in your coffee bar that will help you have a thriving operation and better management of your people. I really appreciate you all taking the time to join me on these episodes. Be sure to share these with a friend. Share these on social media. Also follow us on Instagram, as we're going to be continuing to do more stuff on Instagram Live, probably some more interviews as well that will show up on IGTV at Keys to the Shop on Instagram. And that's it for today. Thank you so much, everyone. And I will see you here next week for another edition of Shift Break, from Keys to the Shop.